Excellent. I am Sam Spinks, running for council. So my background is I have two young kids. We live in Shep. We've lived here for the last 6 years or so, but I've always had family in the area. And while they were growing up, I put myself through a Bachelor of Arts in community development and sustainable development. So I learned all about people and trees was how I described that. And so I also work in community health with Primary Care Connect here in Shepparton. I do a lot of work on the ground with our communities, both our larger city centre, but also our smaller towns all around Greater Shepparton. I'm also the Greens candidate. I'm a member of a number of environment groups around Greater Shepparton. And really the reason I'm running for council and the reason I work in community and the reason I care about the environment is that when I had my young children and I started studying and I realized what was going on in the world, I couldn't help but want to do more and make the world a better place for my own kids and then for everybody else's kids. So it's, fairly basic. I'm sure everyone feels the same way, but I'm putting myself forward and trying to do something a little bit greater. So I think that we can be doing great things in this area. And I think it works at all levels of community. So council themselves are currently doing some great initiatives at becoming carbon neutral themselves. But I think there needs to be greater incentives and a greater push for us as an entire region to work towards this goal. And do it really enthusiastically. So I think that we can be doing, on a practical level, we can be doing things to try and help with our residential. So I want to see solar panels on all houses. I want our new residential areas to be designed in a sustainable way. I want to see public transport and active transport actively built into all designing and focused on. I also would like to see sustainable architecture. We have all of this roof space in Greater Shepparton that could be covered in solar panels or covered in rooftop gardens. There's so many options available to us. We can be doing, sustainable agriculture. Our businesses can get involved. There are just so many ways for our people on the ground, our businesses, our industry, our council, our region as a whole that we can be moving forward. And I think we need to see a stronger push for this to happen. We need voices that are going to push to make it happen because it seems to fall to the wayside. And I don't think at any point that we need to wait for, the big head honchos of Australia to be making these decisions. I think we can be doing it right here in Shepparton and we need to be doing it. Awesome. So there's two different parts I'd like to focus on with this one. The first is our urban sprawl. So we're growing our new estates that continually are growing on the edges of our towns. I think that we need to have less focus on them. We're focusing on large dwellings and large blocks of land, but they're often not connected to services, public transport, active transport, green spaces. So I think we need to focus more on smaller dwellings. We need, and that comes into our affordable housing crisis. We need, housing for one person or couples or people that want different lifestyle options. We also need to increase our density. There are greater things that we can be doing to make sure that people have easy access to our city centres and just our, the shops and things. Also in terms of our city centre, and so the reference to the mall and the CBD, I think that we need to really think about what these spaces are for. There's definitely a push of retail going online, and we've seen it through COVID. So, and then there are parts of our city centre that are doing wonderful things. So, Friar Street and all of its eating establishments offer a great experience for people to go to. There's an awful lot of people who use the Kmart car park. So there's still lots of use being done in the city centre, but it doesn't seem to be spreading across. So what are we doing to address that? What is our city centre really for? It can't just be for business. It's got to be an experience and an easy, accessible, safe experience. It's surrounded by roads that move pretty fast, wide roads, lots of traffic. I think we need to think quite a bit differently about what our city centre and what our mall is currently for and in the future needs to be. Awesome. So this one is one of my favourites. This is one of the reasons I actually or one of the things on my radar when I started running for council. We need better public transport. We need better active transport options. Our entire region is designed around the car. Cars are expensive in every single way. They're expensive to the people. They're expensive to our councils. They're expensive to the environment. So we need to be focusing on, it's all about access to things. People need to easily be able to choose active transport and public transport as the better option. People live busy and challenging lives. They're going to go with the easiest options. And currently our public transport and our active transport options don't meet that need. So we really need to be focusing on, I suppose it links back into that 2030 plan. What as a region do we want to be great at? And also on the ground, how do we meet the needs of our people and our communities so that they can get to the shops the easiest possible way, so that they can access medical care the easiest possible way? So I think that we need to be looking at not only greater public transport and active transport options, but also we'll need to be thinking about, do they look like, are they electric options? What are the future of these options? I think we need to be thinking not only about what the options are today, but what they will be in the future. And just as a final sort of note, I was thinking before, when it comes to the 2030 plan, I would love to see us as a region be leaders in this space in a way that in 2030, when we turn around and go, what did we achieve? We go, we're all over this. Like it's, we've reached our goals and we're leading the way, and it's no longer the climate emergency because we're addressing it head on and we're a part of the movement to change the way we exist and that we do things. I think we can do it. Yep.